Welcome fans of legendary game of Area. I'm your host Octane, and it's the first day of the event. And we're just gonna look at some of the game content. We're gonna look at the deck that I'm using, and just gonna look at some of the things that has changed over the last 2 weeks. One of the changes that has been made over the last 2 weeks is actually in the stores. Now, inside the stores, you could purchase keys with your honor points. Now you can actually purchase keys with your dust and your gold. For new players, I would say use your honor points and your gold, but save your dust. Don't use your dust to purchase any keys. Keep your dust. Dust is a very rare commodity in this game, so I'd advise you not to use your dust. So every day you can purchase 5 keys using your honor points, and you can purchase 5 sets of keys using your gold. So just purchasing my keys for today, and then I'll go ahead and go into the quest. So in the stores as well, you can purchase your earth portion. You can purchase your longevity shard. You can purchase catalyst. This week catalyst is the villain's tool. You can purchase your enchanting rune, and you can purchase cards. This card, which is Yorn's Pest, I'd advise all new players to purchase that particular card for this week and upgrade it. It's a very useful card. One other thing as well I would say to new players is try and play as much as the event as possible, and what you want to do is you want to purchase as much as the dungeon coins as possible, longevity shard and the catalyst. The next thing you would need to purchase is, if you can, purchase the wisp and the wisp core shard. Those are some of the most important things inside the event stores. The enchanting rune, it's important as well because you use this to enchant your relics. I spoke about a few weeks ago about a particular relic, and I'll go ahead and show you the relic. I spoke about this particular relic. This is called a fire scepter, but it's enchanted. Before it was enchanted, it was actually like this, an exaltant cane, and you enchant it using the enchanting rune, and you can craft it to a particular affinity. So I told you a few weeks ago to always play your dungeon each day, because it's in the dungeon that you get the rest of stuff like this one. And this one you get it from the dungeon as well, and you need loads of those. This one you can get it from the dungeon, or you can get it from event store, and I think you actually get it from the quests as well. So always play your quests each day and save up these things because they really come in handy later on in the game. Okay, so that's just a bit of tip on purchasing stuff from the stores. What I normally do when I'm playing the quests, because you can actually go, you can play easy, medium and hard. To get to the expert you have to complete hard. So where I start, I normally start at the medium, and when I complete the medium I then get up to hard and then the expert. When I've got an extra 2, 3 or 4 keys, then I'll play the easy. So when I've played all my 38 keys in the medium. If I've got 3 keys left, I'll just go ahead and use those 3 keys just to play the easy. And the reason why I do that is to ensure that I get the catalyst, which is the villain's tool, from the easy quest map. Okay. Boss arena. In the boss arena we've got a new boss, which is called the overkill boss. That boss uses stamina. So what you want to do to keep your stamina going is you actually want to do these two quests, the scavenger and the craft potion quest. The craft potion quest, you'll get a minimum of 9 stamina. You can get up to a maximum of, I think, 37. 37 is the highest I've actually ever received from the craft potion, and I think 9 is the highest I've actually received from the scavenger. So the scavenger takes 5 minutes while the craft potion takes 2 hours. So every 5 minutes you can send out somebody to obtain stamina or cards, or you can obtain gold. But in this case you want mostly stamina. So keep your craft potion going to obtain stamina. And don't use your stamina because you're going to need your stamina to use it against the overkill boss. So the deck that I'm using in the medium for the medium quest at the moment, I'm using my dark deck because the medium is not too difficult. The hard is a bit more difficult, and when you get up to the expert, it's really difficult. So when I start the hard map, then I'll actually use my Earth Affinity deck. But at the moment, I'm just using my dark deck just to complete the map. And in my dark deck, I've got several cards, and this is just to increase the amount of gems that I produce on the first turn. So I've actually got 5 relic producing gems on the first turn, and I'll just go ahead and swap the power gems that's created, and this will defeat all the enemies on the first attack. And then on the second attack, I'll just activate all my gem spawning cards plus my Mundo Nihil. And Mundo Nihil is a new card, and his new damage should, well, it didn't, but it normally kills all the enemy on one turn. So we use all our gems produced. There we go. We've gone through the second attack and the third attack. You use London Hill as well. Just to, it's called chip damage. So you do a bit of chip damage by using London Hill's nuke damage, and then, well, we didn't defeat the boss this time around, so we use London Hill again, and that should take care of the boss. There we go. So as you progress on the map, the bosses get stronger. So then you'll want to use your Green Affinity deck. One other thing I will say, if you aren't able to generate the amount of damage to complete the hard map, is don't worry about getting 3 stars. The objective is to actually complete the map. So if you are able to complete the easy and the medium, and you're not able to complete the hard, if you're able to get a 3-star on one of the map, one of the on the hard, if you complete and get 3-star, you can just go in, and then what you can do is use your loot ticket, and the loot ticket will just basically goes straight through, and you will get your keys, but you will not get the potion. So you get everything except the potion. What I'll suggest is, if you aren't able to defeat the bosses, do that, and thus get your keys just to do your solo bosses. So I've just started playing, and I got the free head starter pack. So as you can see, my bosses are level 51, and I've done this just because I am able to generate enough damage to actually do the overkill to defeat these bosses. So I'll go ahead and fight this boss. and I should get the overkill. There you go, I've got the overkill. But if you're unable to defeat these bosses with your deck, I would suggest not to get the free starter pack. Just start the grind from level 1 and work your way up. And you should be able to get enough trophies to get your free card. And you should be able to get enough to get stuff from the collection. So at the moment, the deck that I will be using for the quest is my dark deck, and then I'll be using my green deck. I'll be using this one, and I'll be upgrading a few of the stuff, a few of the cards in this one to use this one. And when they get a bit more difficult and I need to generate a lot of power gems and basically a long fight, I'll use this deck. This deck you won't generate as much damage because it's a Slayer deck, 1, and 2, it's a light affinity deck. So light affinity deck won't do 100% damage, and Slayer deck you will not get the event boost. So you lose two things: you lose the event boost and you lose the affinity boost. With this one, it's a mix and match of Commander and Slayer. So I've only got one Commander card. So this one I'll get the affinity boost along with the event boost. This one I'll just get affinity boost. But this deck is a really powerful deck. I just need to upgrade the cards a bit more. I've got the lead card awakened twice, and all the rest of cards needs to be awakened. This one needs to be upgraded a bit more, and my relics just need to be upgraded a bit more. One of the relics that I really need to upgrade is this one, which is my Dojin Axe, and you need the enchanting runes. That's the runes I'm telling you about, and you need the legendary crystal as well. When this gets up to 6-star, it actually gives your Earth Affinity cards a real bang for the buck. So far I've found the event alright. I haven't come up against one of the overkill bosses as yet, but the overkill bosses start from level 1, so you should be able to get a bit of stuff from the overkill collection. Now in the overkill collection they have put 2 of the runes for the master collection runes. There's one here and there's one there, one at 3.1 thousand medal and one at 1.5 thousand medals. And in the collection, the legendary collection, you've only got 3 runes, master runes. You've got one here at 3.3, the next one is at 15k, and the last one is at 82k. So you need to basically get medals and collect the legendary trophies to get all the runes for your master collection. Hopefully you're able to get something from the master collection. This card will be a useful card. I don't think the Gemfall decks are very powerful, but they're okay to have. So if you're unable to get the master collection card, don't worry about it. Keep it as I said, and craft a rune as and when you need it in a future event. One other thing I would advise you in getting master collection cards is always think about it if that card is very valuable, because you don't just want to get an X13 for getting an X13 sake. Because I've got X13 in my decks that I realized that it's not really valuable after the event. One of those X13 is this one. I got this X13 a while ago, and I realized that after the event I've tried to use this X13 and it doesn't really perform how it performed in its own event. So it's just in my deck and I haven't got much use for it. So that made me think that not all the X13s that we get is actually valuable after the event. So you want to think about the X13 that you're gonna get and if it's worth using your DOS to actually craft a room for that X13. Just as with the packs. Now you want to think before you start spinning gems, do I really need an extra support card? Doing the first tier is really good because on the first tier you might be able to get an ultra rare. Not all ultra rares are very good, but it's nice to have an ultra rare. And you want to think in the support pack, will I get the event card? And is the event card worthwhile spending all my gems on? So you can always do the first tier, because with the first tiers you might be able to get the event card or the ultra rare. But definitely you want to try and go through as much as the event as possible so you are able to get something from the 5-star collection. And that's just some of the tips. So for free to play players, play the event. You get rewarded gems if you finish high up in the event, and you want to contribute as much trophies to your guild as possible because you also get gems. The higher up your guild your guild place in the event, the more gems you actually get rewarded. And you save those gems. Don't just spend your gems all willy-nilly buying like packs with cards from previous events, because not all cards from previous events are any good. Once that particular card event has passed, most of those cards are not valuable. So think about how you spend your gems. Think about the cards that you want to get. Think about the cards that you awaken as well. You don't want to awaken cards that it's not valuable later on and you think, oh, why did I waste my wisp and my mana to actually awaken this card? So think about the cards that you are actually getting and the cards that you're awakening. I'll do a video on cards to awaken and cards that you want to keep and cards that you don't want to keep. So hope this video has been helpful. Hope you enjoyed the event. I'll be back in a day or two to do a next video just to recap and see how the event is going. So thank you for stopping by. This is Octane saying enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.